Okay, I'd like to start the Upper Moreland Township regular board meeting for February 3rd, 2025. Before we get started, I want to say the commissioners met in an executive session after the last meeting that we had on January 27th, as well as beforehand. We only announced beforehand, but we met afterwards. Next, if we could have a moment of silent meditation, please. All stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pat, would you take roll, please?
Yes, Commissioner. Ward 1?
Present.
Ward 2?
Present.
Ward 3?
Present.
Ward 4?
Present.
Ward 5?
Here.
Ward 6?
Present.
Ward 7?
Here.
Mr. Commissioner, all the members of the Board of Commissioners are present, as is the Township Solicitor, Sean Kilkenny, and Township Manager, Pat Stasio.
Okay, for presentations, would you like to do your introduction first?
Thank you. It's with pleasure that I'd like to introduce to the board and to the public Vicki Simone, who is in attendance. I'm sorry, Tina Simone. I have Vicki on. There you go. That didn't start well. Tina Simone, who we're very pleased to have. Tina started with us last Monday on January 27th and has very quickly learned all that we do up in the manager's office. She's the executive assistant. Still more to learn, and has already jumped right in with both feet and is not hesitating at all to take on all of the responsibilities. And we look forward to working with Tina for many years to come. So welcome, Tina, and thank you.
Next for presentation, Commissioner Lockhart.
Yes, I have a retirement proclamation for Officer Thomas Leahy. Whereas Thomas Leahy enlisted with the Upper Moreland Township Police Department as a police officer on February 19th, 1996. Whereas Police Officer Leahy was assigned to the Patrol Division, which provided uniform patrol services to the residents and citizens of Upper Moreland Township from February 19th, 1996 to January 31st, 2025. Whereas Police Officer Leahy served the department as a member of the Montgomery County Major Incident Response Team, providing staffing and logistical support to meet the immediate requirements of an emergency when the resources of the requesting police department are not sufficient to cope with the emergency. Whereas Police Officer Leahy further served the department as a member of the Montgomery County Veterans Response Team, a specialized collaborative response team created to assist veterans in need or who may be experiencing a crisis. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Police Officer Thomas Leahy faithfully served the residents and citizens of Upper Moreland Township for 30 years and honorably retired on January 31st, 2025. This proclamation is presented by the Upper Moreland Township Board of Commissioners on the 3rd day of February 2025.
Todd, do you want to do officers first? Anybody want to bring your family? While we're on the way out? Yeah, sure. Come on up.
Put myself on vibrate.
I would also like to say, after living here for over 60 years, I have seen Mr. Leahy here on the street for years and years and years, and we have a lot of people that are retiring that have been here a long time, and I just think from my own personal feeling, I just want to say thank you for protecting our little town. It means a lot to us and myself. Thank you.
I've been a resident here since I started.
There you go.
Nice.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, public comments, non-agenda items only. Okay, Treasurer's activity report. Somebody want to make a
I
motion?
make a motion to approve the treasurer's activity report for January 2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes. Approval of
make-
the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for January 6, 2024.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any questions from the board? Any changes?
No.
Anybody from the public? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes. Committee recommendations.
All right. The Community Development Committee recommends the Board of Commissioners take action on the following. Zoning Hearing Board scheduled for February 13th, 2025. Motion to authorize the town solicitor to attend the February 13th, 2025 zoning board meeting to represent Upper Moreland Township.
Where this came from, I had picked it up on the zoning meeting list. 1740 County Line Road, we have, and we still have litigation going on with them. They just wanted to drop a trailer in there and call it an office, which we don't allow, but they did file with the township for either an exception, a variance for it. So I thought this board should be sending Kilkenny Law to represent us on this, since we do have pending litigation. Also on that, we do have another one that the zoning board, or the zoning officer, asked for some help, and that will be at Home Depot that night for a steak sandwich shop, basically. They would just want to put a trailer out front and serve food. So we would like to, I know it was turned down once before when they first opened because of trash issues and a few other things, because it doesn't really fit zoning. So that's where this came from. Is there anybody else on this board have any questions? Anybody from the general public? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? So moved.
All right. Motion to approve the authorization to approve advertisements for an ordinance for Helen Street abandonment.
Okay, this was discussed in our committee. Is there anybody that has any questions on it from the board?
Nope.
Anybody from the public? No? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Approved.
And motion to approve the downtown parking lot improvements.
Okay, again, discussed in committee for 2-3 years. It's finally here. I think we have the plan and everything ready to go. So is there any other questions on this from the committee, from the board? Anybody from the public? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes. Next, we'll have Public Health and Safety Committee.
Yes, thank you. Public Health and Safety Committee. Chief Lesman?
Thank you, Commissioner. There's a motion to approve waiving of the permit fees for renovation to the fire station. We've come upon some ARPA funding. We need to get a plumbing, electrical, and a contracting permit. The fees would be under $500. What is the process we have to follow? So we're asking to waive the fees so we can make the improvements.
Okay, this is something that we do all the time for any of our in-house improvements, since it's the same tax dollar that would be paying for it, so why take it from one fund and move it to the other?
And I think Charles made the motion, right? And I'll second that.
Okay, I'm sorry, got a first and a
Thank you.
second. Okay, any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes. Next,
Call the report for the public health and safety.
thank you. Next will be Finance Administrative Committee.
Thank you. The committee recommends the board take action on the following. 1A, the reappointment of Bonnie McDonald on the Historical Commission.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
B, the reappointment of Udo Moran on the Historical Commission.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
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 Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
C, the reappointment of Stephen Worthington on the Historical Commission.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
D, the reappointment of Kelly Hines on the Human Relations Commission.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Anybody from the board have a question? Anybody from the public have a question? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Abstain? Deny? Motion passes.
E, the appointment of Margaret Holscher on the Parks and Rec Advisory Council to fill the Ward 2 vacancy.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Anybody on the board have any questions?
I believe this was an at-large, and now it's Ward 2, right? And now the at-large position is open.
Correct. Meg is a member of the Parks and Rec Advisory Council currently as an at-large. If this passes, she'll move into the Ward 2 appointment, which will free up an at-large position for the council. At-large then can come from any area in the township.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay, any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
Okay, F, the reappointment of Dean Swedberg as Ward 5 representative on the Parks and Rec Advisory Council.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
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 Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
G, the reappointment of Mark Rosenbaum as Ward 7 representative on the Parks and Rec Advisory Council.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
H, the reappointment of James Morrison on the Environmental Advisory Council.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
I, the reappointment of Carl Feisenmeyer on the Environmental Advisory Council.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
All right, and J, the appointment by Resolution R 2025-3 of John Bates as voting delegate and Patrick T. Stasio as alternate delegate on the Tax Collection Committee.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
All right, bills payable, general fund checks beginning with number 143280, ending with number 143531, for a total of $1,043,776. Escrow checks, starting with check number 9870, ending with check number 9874, for a total of $2,416.75. and liquid fuel fund checks beginning with check number 3171, ending with number 3175, for a total of $43,340.06.
I second the motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
Okay, on the other items, motion to approve an award for the bid of the Maryland Road Culvert Improvement Project.
Again, this was discussed in committee.
Second, sorry.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
B, motion to approve request to the Pennsylvania Municipal League for advocacy regarding the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission's one-call systems regulations.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Again, discussed in committee. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
C, motion to approve resolution R 2025-4, setting application fees for permits to conduct special events.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
Motion to approve resolution R 2025-5, authorization of signers on TD Bank as a depository for the township.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
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 Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
E, motion to approve tax assessment appeal between the township, the school district of Upper Moreland, and the taxpayer, the Gardens Willow Grove LLC, for the property located at 409 Easton Road.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Questions from the board? Questions from the public? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
F, motion to approve tax assessment appeal between the township, the school district, and the taxpayer, Barbara A. Jacqueline, for the property located at 705 Easton Road.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
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 Against? Abstain? Motion passes.
And G, motion to approve tax assessment appeal between the township, the school district, and Barbara A. Jacqueline for the property located at 709 Easton Road.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussions from the board? Any discussions from the public? Okay. Against? Abstain? Motion passes. Okay, that's it for there. And just so everybody's aware of, all of these items are discussed in their committees. This isn't anything that's new on the agendas. Parks and Recreation.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry.
Parks and Recreation Committee, what? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
We get used to it, don't we?
Okay. The committee recommends the Board of Commissioners takes action on the following. Number one, motion to approve the Montgomery County 2040 grant application, Power Line and DCNR Trails grants.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? All in favor, say aye.
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 Against? Abstain? Motion passes. That is it for tonight. Are there any commissioner comments anybody would like to make? My only one, it's nice to see that Officer Leahy was here for 30 years and put his time in here, and I really wish him well with his endeavors going forward. Also, I think it is great that we hashed around for about 2.5, 3 years on the little parking lot across from the train station. We finally got it approved to make Upper Moreland look a little better on another corner. Nothing else?
Agree. It's an important corner in our downtown.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.